Hello and welcome to this special conversation with two of the best in the country. I mean, there's nobody more knowledgeable than Mr. KP Mohan on doping, and Rajaraman, somebody I've learned a lot from on this particular subject, two of my favorites. KP sir, I'll go to you. There's a lot of talk on Dipa Karmakar. What has happened? Your thoughts on that? How did this happen? People are saying from 21. Your initial reactions before I go to Raja.
See, we only have limited information as far as what really happened is concerned, because there are a couple of reports which have been taken by various publications. Nothing is clear. Say, for example, if she has been suspended for 2 years for a whereabouts violation, when did it start? When did the process get completed? I mean, these kind of information are basic information, and that is not available. What is available, perhaps, is she has been suspended. We don't know what is the type of suspension. Yesterday evening, after all these lead stories from various sources, yesterday evening there was another report which suggested, repeat, that it might be a provisional suspension. I don't know whether it can last so long, a provisional suspension, but there have been examples in the past in other sports. So it could be a provisional suspension. I suspect it could be because of another factor, that is the International Federation has not disclosed anything as far as this particular case is concerned. If she has been suspended, and she might well have been, if she has been suspended for 2 years, then there should be no harm in or no restrictions on the International Federation in announcing that she has been suspended for 2 years.
If I can ask you one more before I go to Raja, sir, if she has missed the whereabouts clause, with who does it lie? Who is the ultimate responsible person? Is it the athlete? If the athlete has left it to the coach, can we blame the coach? Is it the federation? Whose responsibility is it? Is it the athlete ultimately?
Solely the responsibility part lies with the athlete, solely. And this is made clear in all kinds of documents, whether it is the International Federation, whether it is WADA, whether it is the National Federation. It is always made clear that the ultimate responsibility rests with the athlete.
Okay.
Now, after having said that, there are athletes who might not be familiar with it. There might be coaches who might not be familiar with it. So you can delegate. If you are an athlete, you can delegate the authority to so-and-so, so-and-so. He is my representative. He will file it. Eventually, if you are caught, say, let's say for a failure, let's say for a filing failure, or let's say even for a whereabouts failure. Whereabouts failure is that you are not present where you are supposed to be present. Filing failure is you haven't filed your whereabouts within the specified time. In certain cases, in most cases, it's 15 days before a particular period starts. In WADA's rules and regulations, they say that it has to be before a particular quarter starts. All these are divided into quarters. Jan, Feb, March is the first quarter. October, November, December is the last quarter. So that is how it goes. Athletes are supposed to file whereabouts information before the quarter starts.
Raja, can you explain what KP sir was actually alluding to? That how this happens? They have to go to that Adams Play website and file the details and all. So 2 questions. 1, explain the process, and number 2, what can Dipa do now? Can she do anything? Raja.
Thank you, Boria, for having me on this show. The same as the legend, KP Mohan, my mentor and my guru. Thank you so much for that. To answer your questions, there is something called the registered testing pool that all anti-doping organizations have got. Be it an international federation or the national anti-doping organization, there is a registered testing pool. Now, if you have been chosen on the registered testing pool, you're supposed to file your whereabouts. As KP sir just explained, you're supposed to do it per quarter. Tell the anti-doping organization that has picked you on the registered testing pool where you will be 1 hour every single day. And if you're not in the same location, then you're inviting trouble. If you have not filed, then you're inviting trouble. So if she has been on the registered testing pool, and there is reason to believe, because it is the whereabouts clause that has come into play. It is failure either to file or 3 whereabouts she's not kept date with the where she had promised to be. Now we don't know what it is. As KP sir pointed out, the International Gymnastics Federation has been rather quiet about it. You spend time browsing the website, looking for sanctions. There is no sanction yet against Dipa Karmakar, nor is there mention of whether it is a provisional suspension or what. Now, suspensions are usually short-term until the case is heard and disposed of. Since we do not know where exactly Dipa Karmakar's case stands, because the International Federation has been quiet on this front, we do not know what her next step will be. I am presuming, and I repeat, I am presuming that her case is still in the preliminary stage only. She has been provisionally suspended because there is no sanction on the website. I can safely assume that she has only been provisionally suspended for whereabouts failure, either a filing failure or a whereabout 3 whereabout failure, and she has invited a provisional suspension. Now she will have to present her case before the hearing panel, which is the ITA. In this case, I think ITA is the independent tribunal that is looking at anti-doping matters for the International Gymnastics Federation. She will have to answer them. She will have to explain why she committed this whereabouts failure, whether it is filing or actual whereabouts failure. She will have to explain. Only then can a sanction or no sanction, no case to answer may come up. Yet, if there is a sanction that comes up, Dipa Karmakar may have the option of going before CAS, which is the Court for Arbitration in Sport in Lausanne. But I don't think things will come to such a pass, and she might accept any sanction that is given to her.
KP sir, last words to you. 1 minute I have. Does Dipa have a case? Does Dipa have a case to go to CAS, or does Raja say that if it comes up, she doesn't really? So your thoughts on that. What is the way forward for Dipa Karmakar? KP sir.
As you said, that in case she is suspended, she can go to CAS. In case it is only a preliminary kind of a procedure where you are provisionally suspended and you are asked to explain for that matter, then each and every whereabout failure or whereabout filing failure would be considered and treated separately. Now, unless all 3 are established, there is no question of suspending her. If let us say that 2 are established, but 1 there is some kind of a doubt that she said that on this particular date I was away because of this reason, etc., etc. That means there is no longer 3 failures. So in that case, she is on 2 failures. So that is up to her to prove. They have got, let's say 3. Now, sometimes it so happens that an international agency or an international federation might even have 4 or 5 or 6. And only when they are sure about 3 of them, then they impose kind of a provisional suspension. In her case, we don't even know whether there had been any other instances or not. One aspect I also don't know is whether it is for the first time that she has been included in the registered testing pool or not. If that is the case, then her failure to comply with it or her coach's failure to comply with it could be understandable to some extent. But if she had been there earlier, then I think it is unpardonable that she has missed it.
Okay. I'll end it there. There's still a lot of mystery surrounding the Dipa Karmakar case. A word that KP Mohan used in the morning when we had a chat, a word that Rajaraman used when we had a chat, but clarity as to what the process is has come from this particular conversation and what the way forward for Dipa Karmakar is. Delighted once again to have KP Mohan on this particular conversation with me. Rajaraman, as usual, you were the one who nudged me. Call him. So thank you very much for that. Many more to come. We'll go in depth on doping in the year 2023. One of the biggest issues surrounding us, and who better than these 2 gentlemen, KP Mohan and Rajaraman. A sincere thank you and delighted to have you on my show. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.